Welcome back to Fox and Friends. We're just 3 days away until the end of Title 42. And as a record number of migrants continue to cross the border, the Biden administration claims it's not open, adding, quote, anyone who suggests otherwise is doing the work of smugglers and spreading misinformation to make a quick buck off of vulnerable migrants. Here to react is former DEA Special Operations Director Derek Maltz. Derek, so great to have you. I mean, what do you make of this? How insane is it if you tell the truth about what's happening at the border? The Biden administration says you're working with the cartels to spread misinformation.
Rachel, in the spirit of Christmas, I want to say to Pete what an awesome jacket he has on today. But anyway,
True.
The Biden administration hasn't been honest since day one. I mean, he is known by President AMLO as the migrant president. There's flags for Joe Biden. There's T-shirts for Joe Biden. But his legacy is total breakdown of rule of law, 200,000 dead American kids, historic numbers of apprehensions and releases into the country. But most importantly is the million gotaways that are in our country. That is a national security concern. Every American should be concerned about that. And you know what? It's very disingenuous for the White House press secretary to tell the public the president has done the work. What the hell work has he done? The border czar is over in the Philippines saying thank you and hello to Philippine fishermen, but she's not going down talking to the brave men and women on the border who are protecting all the American citizens. So there's a lot of mixed messages. Look at the, Secretary of Homeland Security, operational control. Anyone that watches Bill Maloogian's videos can see it's madness, it's chaos, it's confusion.
Absolutely. And, think about all the hot spots around the world in Eastern Europe and Africa and the Middle East. And yet it is our southern border that is now declared the deadliest border crossing in the world. You mentioned the complicity of the Biden administration in so much of what's happening with the drug smuggling. So the Arizona CBP has seized 230,000 fentanyl pills, 62 pounds of meth, and 13 pounds of cocaine. In Yuma, they found backpacks loaded with 90 pounds of meth. So talk to me a little bit about the complicity of this administration in the deaths of American citizens and American children due to fentanyl.
Rachel, my hat goes off to the CBP, especially in Nogales. I follow the port director's messages every day. They may have made that seizure, but just last week they seized about 2 million pills. In November, in an 8-day period, they seized about 5 million pills. They are doing tremendous work. But there's another side of the story I want to talk about briefly. The DEA, Homeland Security Investigations, FBI, law enforcement is going out every day, making great cases. They're identifying the networks in America. They're identifying the cartel leadership in Mexico. But here's the problem. Mexico has a failed justice system. We can't locate, apprehend, and extradite these major targets. I mean, we saw last year when AMLO had Chapo Guzman's son in custody, and he released him because he has this, hugs for thugs, no bullets policies, and he doesn't believe in, the rule of law. So that's working against us. But the Biden administration is not going down to Mexico to put pressure on the Mexican authorities. So U.S. law enforcement is spinning a lot of wheels, using their resources, keeping our citizens safe, which is great, and I applaud their efforts, but they need support from the White House, and that's not happening. As a result, families are waking up every day, and as a matter of fact, as we approach Christmas, there'll be about 300 families that day that will get the call that their kid died from deadly drugs. And most of the drugs now are the fentanyl. Rachel, one last thing. The liquid fentanyl that was seized in South Texas, that's got me very concerned if, in fact, it comes back positive as fentanyl, because that shows me that the cartel operations throughout America are so robust, they're going to bring the liquid in because it's easy to get that in, and they're going to convert the fentanyl into the powder in America, just like they do with meth. So it's really disturbing, and I appreciate your work at Fox for pushing this out because the public needs to know, and right now they're just not getting the messages from the White House.
Well, Derek, we've had you on before. You also pointed out the nexus between China and the cartels and their role in that. And the Biden administration is not pressuring China to stop sending the materials used to make fentanyl as well. So this is a failure all the way around. And I really appreciate your insight into this. I wish you a Merry Christmas. Thank you for joining us on this very sad topic. But nonetheless, we need to talk about it, especially as the Title 42 policy is going to be removed on Wednesday, and things will only get worse. Derek, thank you.